I want to install ceramic tile flooring in this bathroom. I've already replaced the fiberglass shower enclosure with a nice ceramic tile and a new pan. I've also replaced the old vanity, and my next step is to finish it up by doing new flooring. I've removed the old linoleum and particle board underlayment, and now I'm down to the plywood subfloor. My next step is to clean this subfloor because we're going to be putting down a bed of thin-set mortar, and then on top of that we're going to install 1/4 inch cement backer board. This is similar to what was in the bathroom, a vinyl linoleum with particle board underneath. So if you have this type of flooring system and you want to install ceramic tile, it's necessary to remove the old linoleum and the particle board and get down to the plywood subfloor, and then you work up from there for your ceramic tile. My first step for cleaning this subfloor is to use a scraper and make sure everything's smooth. I have some old thin-set mortar that's on here. That's my fault because when I was doing this tile work I spilled some on there. So it's necessary to scrape that all off, and you want to be left with a smooth surface because any bump underneath the cement board that we're going to put down will make a lump, and it'll make an uneven flooring surface, and that causes trouble when you try to install the ceramic tile on top of the cement board. So I'll just go to work scraping this floor. I want to get all the high spots down. As you're scraping, you also might come across a nail that's up. You can just pound those back in. I finished scraping the floor of any old thin-set or sheetrock texture or high spots, and now it's time to vacuum it. I finished vacuuming the floor, and as a last step to help aid the adhesion of the thin-set mortar, I'm going to use a slightly damp rag and wash the floor. Cinderella style. Dirt. That plywood is as clean as it's going to get. Now it's time to cut some cement board. The cement board comes in 3-foot by 5-foot sheets. So I'll put my first piece right here, and we need to find the length. So I'll measure here. And it looks like it is 3/4. So I'll start by cutting that length. The recommended method of cutting this cement board is to score it with a knife and break it. So that's how we'll do it. What was that number again? 43 1/4? 40 3/4. Okay, so we'll measure that out. 40 3/4. Luck would have it, it's right on this line. So that's where we'll make our cut. I'm using this level as a straight edge while I cut. See if this works. Tough stuff. There we go. Guess you just have to give it a little force. Using my tape measure, pencil, and square, I've marked the 2 notches that need to be cut out to enable this cement board to fit tight against the front of the shower pan. Hold your breath, kids. After cutting these with a circular saw, it's necessary to finish the cut with a utility knife. There's the piece of cement board dry fit in place, so now we need to remove it and lay down a bed of thin-set mortar. I've mixed up some thin-set mortar to a consistency of my liking in this bucket. I'm going to apply it to the floor with a 1/4 inch notch trowel. Now I'm going to spread the mortar on the subfloor with my notch trowel. I've spread out the thin set, and it's time to put down the cement board. Now I'll place the cement board. Now I need to screw it down with screws, naturally. These are special screws just for this application, and I'm almost done. They have little indentations in the cement board so that you know exactly where to put the screws. So I'll finish this up and it's on to the next board. The first piece is installed. Now it's time to measure and cut the second piece. We have a cut for an air conditioning register, a notch for the vanity, and a hole for the toilet. To cut out the hole for the toilet outlet, I used the skill saw to do a plunge cut, and now I'm going to use my Sawzall to cut the circle out. The second piece is cut and ready for installation. I will spread a coat of mortar onto this plywood, and then we'll install the second piece. My mortar is down, and time to put on the second sheet of cement board. Second piece down and ready for screws. Now it's time to place the third and last piece. Now that all of the necessary pieces of cement board are installed, we need to apply a strip of fiberglass mesh tape to both seams of the cement board in order to tie it together and make it more stable. I'll start by applying the mesh tape to the seam. Next, I will apply inset mortar to the seam. I've now applied mesh tape and mortar to both seams. Now we just need to wait for the thin set to cure overnight, and we'll be ready to install ceramic tile.